Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Software Quality and Beer. I am here with the esteemed Matt Kubal, Senior Engineer with Checkpoint Technologies. Hey Matt.
Hello, cheers.
Yep. Thanks for joining us everybody. So Matt and I were just talking about the Florida-Houston game last night. So if we seem a little bit tired, that's why. And we are here at Thirsty Buffalo in Odessa, Florida, where they are kind enough, thank you to Mike and Aaron, for letting us film our podcast here. Matt, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the Ciao Bella, which I feel like I'm drinking all the time here,
Okay.
but it's delicious, that's why.
See, and I'm happy to say, this is, I think, our fourth time we've recorded anything here. I have yet to drink the same beer. This one is El Pasco. So I did not mispronounce that. It's not El Paso, it's El Pasco, because Pasco is the county that Thirsty Buffalo is located in. It's a Mexican lager, light, really good. So, hey everybody, again, thanks for joining us. This is going to be our part 2 of our AI segment, though I guarantee you we've already got lined up. I don't think I shared with you, but a big shout out to Mark Herbert, Bob Price, and several others who shared a little bit of input on LinkedIn on future topics and the great comments they had. And Bob Price, I heard you keep growing, absolutely. So anyway, yeah, so now we're going to pick up on part 2. And, one of the things I recently did, which I'm excited about, was 23rd year in a row, gave a presentation out at the University of South Florida for Dr. Alan Hebner in his class. So that was really cool.
You do that once a year?
Once a year, and this was a bit different though because he's teaching a different class. So Dr. Hebner this year is teaching an AI in business, and he asked myself, along with a couple of others, Jim Trenadu and Dr. Rose Babenia, to present to his class, because this particular class, again, he teaches AI in business, but this class focused on the impact of AI with software quality and software testing.
That's cool. So
Yeah.
how'd the presentation go?
Oh, it was cool. It was at 32 students.
Okay.
Well, first off, I got to tell you, Dr. Rose Babenia gave a great presentation. His was on software testing specific to cybersecurity.
Okay.
And then Jim Trenadu, he is Director of Quality for Caesars Gaming and Casino, and his was on using AI and the different AI components that software testing solutions have. So like Lambda Test, who we're a partner with, he talked about their solutions, which was really cool, and a few others.
Is this all publicly available, possibly? Do you know?
Not yet.
If somebody reached out and requested it from you, could they get it?
So not yet.
Okay.
So they did record us, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to share at least my presentation. So we're going to work on doing that at some point.
Okay.
But then my presentation was very different in that it was very, very exercise-based interactive.
Okay.
So
what was the... Did people actually have hands on keyboard?
No.
What was the scenario?
No. So what I did was I went in there and I said, all right, everybody, I'm Bob Cruz, CEO and founder of Checkpoint Technology, so not a big stretch for me. And then all 32 students were part of the Checkpoint Technologies Executive IT Board. So really cool. And I shared with them, and this is make-believe, but that we, Checkpoint Technologies, were recently contracted by Imaginary Corporation
Okay.
in the Tampa Bay area to test their Strong AI system. So strong in the sense that, completely autonomous, can make more decisions that, your more narrow-minded AI systems, Gen AI, can make. And this was for a self-driving bus system.
Okay.
And we had to test it. So the name of this system was called SunDrive. I'm going to cheat and use notes because that's a long acronym, but it stands for Smart Urban Navigation Dynamic, Reliable, Intelligent Vehicle Ecosystem.
Terrible.
And that is the reason, folks, that we come up with acronyms.
It's
So
called the
SunDrive.
backronym.
A backronym. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's when you come up with the acronym first, and then you decide later on what it stands for, because that's a ridiculous acronym.
It's an
but anyway.
awesome acronym.
That's what they do in government. All their acronyms they come up with are acronyms. It's true. It's true.
Well, I remember snafu in the military, but I won't get into what that means. So on SunDrive, the idea is I told them, they had a goal where the deliverable at the end of this session was to identify the 6 categories of challenges and risk that Checkpoint Technologies had to watch out for.
Okay. And so, what was how did they do this? Like what, they work in groups, or they all just sit there with their own AI system, or all ChatGPT'd up, or what?
Yeah, they weren't ChatGPT'd up.
Okay.
And that is now truly a verb, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just like I Google things,
Yeah,
Now I
GPT it.
chat GPT it.
Yeah.
But they were encouraged to work in groups, but due to the limited amount of time, because I had 30 minutes, so that was a challenge.
Okay.
They all kind of did it one-on-one, and we spoke a lot and things like that.
Did you find that everybody came? So, what tool did they use? Were they up to them what they wanted to use?
No, great point. So they weren't able to use anything. We were having a 30-minute meeting. That
Okay.
was the scenario.
Okay.
And we had to brainstorm, and that this group combined had all the skill sets, powers, and experience of C-level individuals.
Okay. So the context isn't that you're using AI to accomplish what they need to. It's that the AI was doing the SunDrive thing, and they needed to come up with the risks.
Well,
and
we
whatever.
hadn't decided that yet.
Okay.
So one of the things I tried to emphasize to them was, in coming up with the 6 categories, is think non-technical. So if you're hired to test a strong AI system, naturally you've got to be thinking about technology, because that's what it is.
Okay.
But there are a lot of other factors and risk as spin-offs that you need to think about. So one category, I'm not going to share all of them because I'm actually giving this presentation, this exercise up at the Software Quality Group of New England at the end of May. But one of the things are ethical considerations. So if you're the organization that developed this AI system, I'm going to be asking you, what kind of ethics, what kind of morality did you program into your AI system?
So the trolley problem.
The trolley problem?
Yeah.
So what's the trolley problem? I've not heard that phrase. I've heard of the sinking boat problem.
The trolley problem is where you have to decide who to kill in a situation. Essentially, if an AI has a choice to either continue on its path and run over an old granny, or swerve to the right and run over a woman pushing her child in a stroller, it has to make that decision. Which does it choose?
Okay.
So
now,
those are the sort of...
So back in my military days, we were given that exact same scenario.
Okay.
Except not with a trolley. It was a sinking ship. Your raft can hold 10 people. You've got X number swimming towards you. A priest, a little old lady, and so on and so on. Who are you going to let on board?
And the answer was you ask each of them their rank, right?
No, we did not. That was not the right answer.
Okay.
But ethical considerations was one of the things that you had to think about.
Okay.
But their goal that we emphasized to them was to minimize and mitigate risk and protect Checkpoint Technologies.
Okay.
But so yeah, there was a lot of good dialogue. But when you think about artificial intelligence, the whole, I mean, if you think about some of the other factors, the scenario I gave them was that this self-driving system would only be used in Hillsborough and Pinellas County.
Okay.
So
How does that change it?
So you don't have, and I chat GPT'd this, you don't have many traffic laws that vary from county to county.
Gotcha.
But imagine that if this were some kind of a self-driving system
Right.
that crossed state boundaries.
Yeah, like right on red or something.
Exactly,
Like that.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, there are a lot of different things that we talked about. But it was good in that it got them thinking little bit less technical. So, those were the things that we talked about, and I tried to give them a few questions and whatnot, things to think about to help kind of prime the pump. So, how are we going to balance innovation and scalability? These are the kind of things that from a testing perspective, we want to be sure we're aware of.
Right. Okay. Did they come to the right answers, the right conclusions that you wanted them to? It was more of a discussion.
So the ethical considerations was the one, they did not come up with that.
Okay.
They seem to have a very, very difficult time with that one.
That's bizarre that in an AI class they wouldn't have come up with that. I would think that they would have discussed that sort of thing. It's a big topic in AI now.
I think they were way down.
Yeah.
And when I say the class didn't, it got to a point where certain things, Dr. Hevner and some of the other presenters, interjected and participated. So it was a lot of fun. They came up with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, they came up with that one.
Sounds really interesting.
Yeah, and then, the other thing I shared as an example is on innovation. I have no doubt in my lifetime, I'm a lot older than you, but we're going to see where not only do you have a lot more self-driving systems, but you're going to have auto-to-auto, vehicle-to-vehicle communication.
Yeah.
So when that day comes, how would we test that? How would we scale up to test that?
I think we'll be testing in prod in that case.
Well, and that brings up a whole nother,
Yeah.
in the field testing,
Yeah.
because you're right. There are certain types of testing that, you can almost only do it out there in the real world. You're right. And just make it a slow release, right?
I don't know. I mean, if it was that easy to figure out self-driving, they would have already figured it out. Until they push it to the world and they constantly have problems with it.
That's
I don't know.
true.
Might be a problem we never solve.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
At
No.
least not with our current driving situation.
Well, right. Well, the other thing you need to think about is, all right, who's going to get on the bus, right? Because, the other thing, and let me stop for 1 second, everybody. Usually we're trying to keep these under 15 minutes. This might go a little bit over on this one. But the other thing that if you think about, I think the recent collision of the plane and the helicopter up in the DC area goes to prove it. People are wanting to know, okay, what happened and what are we doing to avoid that from happening? What did we do to begin with, and what are we doing now? So, it's society is going to want to know before they can come close to trusting an AI system what was done to ensure our safety, our privacy, etc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And people will want to have the ability to consent or not to getting on an AI bus.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
right. Yeah. I'm sure that bus is going to have to be labeled. And then I'm sure you're going to have people that are going to get on that bus because they're going to want to test it themselves, and they're going to be shouting things at it and trying to break things. So
I'm sure. Yeah. Undoubtedly.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Interesting.
But
You're going to give this presentation soon?
yeah, up in for the Software Quality Group of New England.
Okay.
My good friend Robin Goldsmith, who's an officer on that board, invited me up. So yeah, May 21st, which is a Wednesday. So if any of you from SQG&E are watching this podcast, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're able to attend.
Cool.
So hey, we're out of time right now, I think.
Yeah, I'm almost out of beer. So.
Do you have any other?
No.
Oh, see, I still.
Hustle it up.
All right, thanks again, Matt.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Cheers. And thanks to Thirsty Buffalo.
Yeah, thank you.